My wife was so happy with our lime-washed brick house, she told me to keep going. But did I go too far? For those of you who may have missed part 1, it all started with our beautiful house clad in hideous red brick. During a rare cosmic alignment of opinion, my babes and I agreed the red brick would look so much better in white, so I made the preparations and lime-washed the house with the occasional helping hand from my babes. I encourage you to go back and watch part 1 for more detail about lime washing, but I will reiterate a couple of points here because they are important. First, lime wash is not a traditional paint, it's a mineral coating that calcifies onto and into the brick. Second, unlike traditional paint, lime wash allows the brick to breathe. You wouldn't believe the number of shrieking harpies on social media accusing me of ruining my house because they didn't take the time to listen. The ear is a wonderful thing, folks, much wiser than the mouth. Anyway, a lime-washed house would be nothing more than lipstick on a pig if we didn't do something about the sad and neglected landscaping. When we moved here in the spring of 2022, it was much worse. We made some improvements, but the overall feeling was that of gloomy abandonment, and as you can imagine, that's not the look we're going for. So I, with the help from the magnificent shrimp and my boy home on summer break, planted a tropical paradise. Greens, reds, yellows, and pinks perfectly contrasted against the lime-washed brick house. We laid down a thick weed barrier, and then I got 7 tons of river rock delivered and dumped onto the driveway. While the Florida panhandle sizzled in a heat wave hotter than a jalapeno in hell, and normal people flocked to the Gulf or their swimming pools, I shoveled and hauled rock like a big sweaty chump. But wow, this river rock is perfect and it looks fantastic, so my screaming back can just shut the hell up. All these new plants need water, especially now that Mother Nature has turned the dial to 11. So to make sure our botanical investment stays properly hydrated, our neighbor and irrigation wizard Jerry reconfigured the watering system for full bed coverage. In Florida, a good irrigation specialist is worth his weight in gold during the summer months. Our original gutter system was designed and installed by 2 donkeys on acid, resulting in a DIY fiasco that looked as bad as it performed. We tore down that leaking shit show and had a full 6-inch gutter system installed by professionals, including rain chains flanking the stone columns by the front door. How cool is that? I'd never heard of rain chains before, but they're an elegant and ingenious solution for those places where downspouts would look terrible, like hanging in midair right outside the front door. The water from these rain chains flows down into 2 rock-filled planters where it can overflow onto the lawn and into the garden beds. Now, I made a mistake that shattered our new pendant light for the portico. I scrambled to replace the panes, but the shrimp insisted on hanging the pendant herself. Hey, I think she nailed it. And now let's talk about those painted trees. As you may have guessed, it's not traditional paint, but lime wash. And no, I am not some unhinged lunatic. Lime washed trees are common in the shrimp's native Turkey and many other countries around the world, both hot and cold. The lime wash protects the trees from sunburn, frost, which is not a problem here, disease, and many asshole insects. Besides the benefits, it just looks good, so why not? As a final touch, I painted and reinstalled the garage lantern. When you see it in the reveal, let us know what you think. Should we keep it or go for something a little more modern? Now let's take one more look at how our house looked before the project. Here's how it looked when we moved here in the spring of 2022, and here's a shot from spring 2023. And this is what it looks like now. We based a lot of our design choices on Turkish seaside style, and my babes is hoping the bougainvillea we planted will someday look like this one. This has been an epic transformation and one of the biggest DIY projects we've ever tackled, but we're not done yet. The final touch will be some custom lighting I'll be installing, and I'll share that with you just as soon as I get to it. Follow along as we transform our Emerald Coast home into a tropical retreat with each brush of lime wash and shovelful of dirt.